And they do it. T1, they always make finals. True. For the last couple of years, T1.
Yeah, as long as they've had this lineup, never missed a final.
Close here though, versus BLG, versus Bin. And Bin did predict in his interview yesterday 3-1 versus T1, so we might just be following his script.
We thought someone else wrote the script. It's Bin. Potentially, we'll have to find out.
Well, we'll have to see, because it looks like at least a decent start there for BLG. Banning away that Casante that was so good for Faker in the last one. Still sticking to the Jinx ban. With BLG now back onto the blue, it'll be interesting to see if they can have a repeat performance from game 1, or if they'll fall behind again and pushes that game 5.
Nautilus first pick here, okay, so keeping the flex alive, and you talked about this for Yagao. This fits right into his wheelhouse: utility, team-focused pick, and champion.
And oftentimes we've seen it start banned with the Casante, but with the Casante gone, it makes it a little bit easier then for Yagao to actually have that time in his middle.
The faith that T1 have in their Xayah Rakan, though, still stays strong, and they only double ban the jungle, so they get the Wukong this time around. Again, that big engaged possibility.
Eles vão usar Rakan de novo.
BLG, the Lulu.
Yeah, I think it'll be the Zeri Lulu, but it's going to be surprising to see exactly what the game plan now is, because when you think about it, Shun can't really go towards the Kindred. We've already seen how good Wukong is over the course of this game, this tournament against this Kindred. So now you got to look at, like, okay, Sejuani's, maybe we can go back towards something like Lee Sin, but you're definitely starting to go into a weird...
Viego.
And I love the Viego. I want to see those explosive Viego fights behind the Nautilus engage, try and get that shutdown
Nautilus mid.
And snowball them.
And I think the first pick ban phase going pretty much as expected. Of course, a mismatch on the mid lane, as they can now ban out on the side of BLG, but a mismatch on the jungle, and see
eu não estava na transmissão BR, protesto porque eles deram o MVP pro Iagão. E também porque aqui estava tendo fritação no intervalo.
In my head what they want to go towards. They're going to ban the Kindred, so I think it will still be those jungle bans, but maybe they ban towards the Nidalee as well, because we've seen an awful lot of the times the Nautilus and the Nidalee work in tandem, but it is going to be a tough one here. I think Shun definitely needs to start to figure out where he wants to go. I think going towards more of a tank could work out well, and just try and put as many beefcakes in front of Elk, because he's been having a
Kindred de ban, legal. O Shun é muito bom de Nidalee também, tá? Mas Nidalee é muito ruim pra trazer Rakan. E o Kong.
Nidalee. Okay, a lot of respect given over to that pick. Again, we haven't seen it really thrive on stage, I think, outside of one G2 game.
E aí, Uvinha, como é que você tá?
But still giving respect to those snowbally picks for Shun. I think Faker an excellent opportunity here if he wants to go for the Ahri. Wukong, it is a very bad matchup into the Nautilus, but can't.
Nidalee, Kindred banido.
I do agree with Kobe though.
Vai ter que ser Viego pro Shun.
Poppy angle if you end up picking it up for Shun, like the amount of engage that you have, that's dashes on the side of T1, the ability to peel then for Elk, it could be such a strong pickup here, but we'll have to see exactly what T1 are going to go for. I imagine they are going to go for something like a bit of a blind in the mid lane. I think the Slander's gone, so it's a case of what do you actually feel comfortable taking for Faker here. And
Seju Não, Seju não. Acho que é Viego.
The Jax actually going to be what's picked up here, so a bit of a blind. Would know the mid lane match, but instead just trying to get
Faker ele pega contra o Jax subindo, será?
Or do they decide exactly where they want to put that pick? And the Poppy looking even stronger with the Jax locked in.
I really hope that Faker is cooking up an amazing 5th pick, counter pick right now.
Fiora!
He is that Fiora. Bin is that Fiora. Oh my God! All right, Zay, is the Jackson to Fiora matchup.
Pop, legal. Pop legal.
Matchup of the current meta.
Pop é muito bom aqui, mano.
And I think this is an incredibly confident pick, because at the end of the day, whenever you play Fiora, you kind of make the game about yourself, and this tournament has not been about top laners.
All right, so I want the Poppy, but really I'm very curious about Faker. There's been so much theory crafting since this Nautilus emerged about individual lane champions that you can play, other mid lane champions in mid lane, into that Nautilus.
Kha'Zix, nossa, era pop. Aqui era pop.
Come on, Faker, come on.
Aqui era pop pra caralho, mano.
Mordekaiser, Alawi.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Okay,
the same pick, the Ahri, not a great matchup because it's hard to bully the Nautilus out, but still a lot of playmaking.
Exactly, a lot of playmaking. There's a reason Ahri is so popular right now.
Preferi o draft da T1 aqui.
You have that pick potential. You can go for Kha'Zix skills. You can
aqui as duas a 2 também acho.
But it looks like, at least for T1, play through strong mid jungle, try and lean into that bot side, play for Gumi, you should carry it. But when I look towards BLG, as you rightly called out, Dracos, this Fiora, Bin has been outstanding on it for years. The only pentakill in finals, or world finals, was for Bin on this Fiora, and he's going to have to see now if he can have a similar performance. Definitely with the matchup, he can have a good time, but it's very much a skill matchup. And as we pointed out at the start of the day, over the course of Bin versus Zeus, Zeus has been the one that's been able to come in on top when it comes to goal difference, when it comes to CS. So this has been really throwing down that challenge, saying, I know I've grown, I know I can beat Zeus, and I know that I can push us to that finals against JDG.
And it's a lot of pressure to put on yourself in a match point situation, because win or lose, it feels like this game is on.
Não gostei desse tipo de casito, não. Entendo,
safer
mas
on the
não
top side of
gosto.
the map and played around Elk, played around the setup that you have from Yagao, instead putting that faith into yourself, putting your faith into the counter pick on top side. 2-1 currently the score for BLG. T1 going to look to bring us to a game 5 here, but we'll have to see how the Fiora
Fechou da harmonização facial do amigo. Tem um owner. É, eu vi que tô falando que ele fez a harmonização facial, né?
What a way to do
Mas não sei não.
What a way to bring us in towards this game 4. I am so excited to see this. It's a matchup that we've seen time and time again in the LPL. Bin is going to be very familiar with it. We'll have to see what Zeus can do to fight back.
Must win games for T1 if they want to keep their finals appearance streak alive. Must win games. Faker on the Ari. Zeus taking the carry match up top side. The counter-strike riposte mind game.
And comfort on both sides. Yagao on this Nautilus has been one of the big picks for him. Elkin on the Zeri Lulu. Bin on his Fiora. Shun on Akari. But on the opposite side, we're back to the Zyra Khan that dominated that bot lane for T1. Faker and Owner on this strong mid jungle and Zeus on Akari. This is where
Eu acho que o Nautilus pegou esse da ward, tá? Ele pega level 2 na primeira wave.
Go up against JDG tomorrow.
Copperbox erupting with cheers for T1. A lot of pressure again. You can't afford to look ahead. You can't afford to think about JDG and how close you were winning that 5-game series. Have to stay focused on the opponent ahead of you.
Pegou Sintel na barreira roxa. Verdade, né? Tinha esquecido. Yeah.
Feel the tension. Release, build it up, release it. Shout out to the audience. Master craftsman.
And we're gonna get a wolf start here for Shun. Topside Kazakhs. Leashing them all the way over around. Right.
Again, keeping our eyes on the junglers to be
Coitado do Kazakhs começou de dado.
especially around mid lane. We have so much set up bot lane as well for the side of T1 with this recon. We saw Keria and Guma together from Fog of War, finding knock-up after knock-up onto On once he
Sei lá, mano, esse chat gringo é...
With both junglers turning on opposite sides, we'll have to see exactly where they're
Os
going
caras
to
mandam
go.
pega, tá ligado?
Definitely gives an opportunity for him to try and play in towards Zeus and Bin in this topside matchup. A huge amount of this matchup is the mind games. When does Zeus pop the counter-strike? When do you answer with the riposte? Can you time it out? And right now, Zeus just starting to push forward, using the fact he's got the level advantage and that counter-strike at level 1.
O Side bate muito no Nautilus, né?
Topside start for Kazakhs. Oh, actually, we're gonna have a wraparound here. Shun coming for the level 3 pass through mid to get to his bottom side. See if they can get any sums out of Faker.
Level 3 for Yagao. Jumping in, Faker's gonna flash 50. Big hook, anticipating the flash, but will not find it. Patience from Faker, nerves of steel in the moment.
Yagao goes for the flash predict, and Faker makes him look silly by holding it. Does not panic, holds his sums.
And that's huge. If Faker's able to hold on to that flash and now Yagao does an amazing step play, making so little opportunities there.
É aquela coisa, né? E erra, lixo. Se acerta, Deus Yagao. É aquela coisa, aquela história. Ou é o herói ou é o meme.
Waiting again for that mind game, but keeping our eyes on the jungler, especially as Owner completes his first clear on the top side of the map. Difficult to force a dive onto Bin at this stage of the game, but may look to just create another pressure advantage in the top lane.
Yep, Owner finishing on that top side. Zeus backing off a little bit. Bin has to know, though.
Cara, o Bin vai morrer, mano.
Ele
viu. O Pet apareceu.
Walking up to the waiting arms of Owner, the leap in. Counter strike, the parry coming out. Stun will not connect.
Cara, eles têm que ajeitar rápido esse bagulho do Pet da jungle, mano.
As a top laner, trying to exchange damage on jungle.
Area fishing for the knock-up, sidestep by Elk. Elk keeping the trade going. Shun on the bottom side of the map. Now looking to set up for
pode dar bot aqui, hein?
on the backside of the trade. Another wave, pretty far away, but BLG going to look to keep the pressure on. Guma no ghost.
Ih, vamos matar o Iagão. Vamos matar o Iagão.
Split action. Buffer on the charm means Yagao makes it out to safety for a brief moment. He has no flash from the previous play. Titan's Wrath keeping him healthy for now. Aftershock coming in is clutch.
Morreu.
With a dive on the bottom side. What's the response from BLG? It's first blood for T1 in the mid lane. BLG, how will they fire back? Top side of the map though. Bin and Zeus trading back and forth. A dive on the bottom side. That's one. Now looking for a second. BLG have on tanking. They're able to walk away. Carry is still standing, but Guma taken down.
They want more. They're not done yet. Carry a flash.
Carry flashing to safety. That's the Ignite now ticking. They're able to make it out. On still standing. They're on the retreat. Owner not there in time.
Owner and Faker stopped walking down to the bot lane. They weren't there in time on BLG.
Tá.
As soon as they saw Faker,
Pelo menos a Zeri não pegou nenhuma kill.
We can go for the second one, but on!
Waiting into the darkness, on with the shield. Getting the flash out from Owner, just barely able to walk away.
Still huge stuff there for BLG to be able to get those kills on bottom lane. Bottom lane, we know this is where your money is made. This is where your team fights are made. Getting that focus money onto the Zeri. Look at the CS afterwards that they have to drop for this.
I mean, the fact you get that polymorph immediately means Guma usually can't do a thing on tanking it up. And you can see here, look at where the roam is from T1. They start to stop and reset, and that's why they're not here in the bottom lane as BLG decide to continue the dive.
Yeah, they know. They decide it's too late. The kill's already been had on the AD carry, but BLG stick around with the extra minion, get the second kill as well. And then even though Flash is forced on, they don't give any money back critically on the bottom side of the map.
Small window of opportunity, though, is that none of the kills went on to Elk. One onto Kha'Zix, one onto Elk.
Nenhuma foi pro Elk, isso é foda.
It's not as disastrous for T1, but with Cole in pocket and the fact that Elk has that lead, he's still in a fantastic spot.
And ultimately, it was On's flash being down in the previous game that gave Carry and Guma so many opportunities to find those 2v2 kills without the help of a jungler. Maybe can look to do the same here. Elk and On playing with a lot of respect. Backing off on the bottom side has been, and Zeus trading blows. Been a small XP advantage. Keep our eye on that matchup as more items come through. Very close in the gold overall, but 400 for Elk on the bottom side.
All right, I'm gonna look at Owner here, the Wukong. Needs to get his level 6. Wukong level 6, possibility of turning that play around. River being taken over by BLG though. The Dragon should be theirs. They got that mid push. Yagao moves into the
É verdade que a Ásia
Shun's already here.
só tem homem bonito.
Rotates up. Mid pressure into bottom pressure.
Eu sou asiática agora?
Secured for BLG.
The fact that now you managed to secure this in 6.5 minutes means that you can start to get control of the bot side and still look to rotate Elkanon up towards that Rift Herald. That's been the story of BLG pretty much every single Rift Herald this series. Get their AD carry there, try and leverage that into some kills for Elk. We'll have to see if it can work out again for them here in Game 4.
AD carries.
Ouvido, meu pau não tem ouvido.
They
My
rule
bad.
the game. The Dragons are down.
Pô, o jogo tá bom pra BLG, né, mano?
Get your rotations up towards that 7.5.
Bastante pressão do Elko no bot.
Guma taking a lot of damage there in the exchange. Carry now going to try to fire back. Guma waiting on the feather pull back. Oh, playing on the edge there, but Shun now repeating. He's on the bottom side with blue buff. It's big.
No.
Level 6 not there for Guma.
Control wards here for BLG. Shun slips in. Hello.
Ultra Shock Laser, Carry, and now Polymorph immediately. They're going to go for one, and instantly Shun flashes out to safety. The TP burned to no effect. Zeus now
Cara,
needs to try and get
que dive bem feito, mano. O Shun tá morto, mas...
away. But I don't think there's an angle here. Already leaping in, the shutdown for Faker. Big to respond from the kill on the bottom side.
The fact you had that TP from Zeus meant you had
Agora,
to
tipo,
get something.
ele nasce e vai reto no arauto, tá ligado? Pega o arauto. Olha lá, já pingou, ó, já pingou.
Bit of CS for himself, get himself back into this matchup as well, as Zeus had managed to get some CS and an experience lead for himself in there.
Yep, now look at the map. You're going to be forced with this freeze on top side, big Fior.
Iagao não toma picoca não,
rotate
Iagao.
over for the spawn of this Rift Herald. There's existing Scuttle Crab vision and control ward here for T1, but the bottom lane focus for BLG again. Shun jumps in, assassination complete, flashes out. Not able to get any sort of stop, of course, for Fiora, but a little bit of damage.
Yes, a little bit
We
of
want to
poke.
send him over there with some damage and see if your team can make anything happen.
Caralho, mó dano, né?
Obviously a pretty simple kill there for Faker, but good that they are able to get that one back. And I'm loving the camera work. Shout out to the audience and the camera guys. We're getting a lot of great
Eles estão
expressions.
puxando a porra da Wave.
And they try and get this Rift Herald. It takes so long to take down. 3,000 health, one more eyeball pop.
T1 a lot of good team fighting tools.
Isso aqui é da T1.
Not sure if BLG want to contest this. Looks like they will. Just give it
Aqui é
away.
da T1, da T1.
Using brute force to secure that Herald. Now waiting in the darkness, fishing for an angle.
Actually very big for some recovery there for T1. To be able to get that on reset, as BLG did send support over as well. But with that big minion wave being pushed out by Bin, not going to be able to have anything happen.
Elk going all in on the bottom side, still level 5.
O Elk tá level 7, mano.
Or Elk, excuse me.
Gonna get 6, gonna get 6.
Guma racing to 6 as fast as he can.
Caralho, jogou muito bem. Ele usou a torre pra tancar o hit da Zeri. E aí, tio Valhalla, como é que você tá?
Trying to set up for On, who had actually managed to wrap around behind the tower to see if they could get it, but he was matched by Carrier, so On not really in a position to get onto Guma.
Nossa, 30 de farm de vantagem pra Zeri.
Matchup and showing us just not able to get the kill, but a near 30 CS lead, plus you got that Cole about to come through. Elk is once more being set up for success by BLG.
Oh man, you can say that. 3,900 to 2,800 this early in the game. 1,000 gold lead is massive.
And the Cole hasn't even come through yet. It's not even fully stacked, and Guma doesn't even have one to respond. This is going to be a massive gold difference as we get into more.
O problema é quando a Zeri fechar arco e escudo, mano.
It's the entire gold difference of the teams right now. Plus they got the Dragon off their bottom lane pressure.
So he's getting aggressive on the top side. Been continuing to win on these trades.
I was about to say, you could all in as Bin. You have to be very careful here as Zeus. Bin, yeah, that
Nossa.
was it. Get the slow. So we can go for that all in,
NT.
but not able to do so. But Bin will just, or sorry, Zeus will just respect it and will back away.
No mana left for Ben. Zeus is going to take the chance.
Foi NT,
to
foi
reset,
NT, foi
get
NT.
another item under his belt. Top lane tense, but a small lead for Ben as of the moment. Partially because of the roam down from
Agora, por
Zeus
que a Zeri
early
foi
on,
mid
which
e o
is
Nautilus bot?
will not have access for that to come back to the lane. And is just going to try to go for the all-in here, but this is very risky. Counter-Strike coming out. Zeus going to find the stun, but there's a mark on the side here. Zeus now trying to full commit. Bin now leaping out to safety. Zeus, does he have the angle? He's going to go in, but it's going to be the 1-for-1 on the top
Pô, é
side.
pior pro Zeus isso aqui, hein, mano.
Bin managing to get the kill, but Zeus, nicely
Isso aqui
done.
não foi bom,
There's
mano.
very little mana on Bin. Doesn't have enough
Isso
for the
foi muito
riposte.
ruim, mano.
Zeus decides to
Olha o
go for the
Wave,
all-in.
olha o tanto de
Will
minion
get
que ele
the kill.
perdeu lá, tá
He should
vendo?
be able to get back towards the lane,
Caralho,
the wave
mano,
that's
que
in their top
merda,
side
mano.
as well. So nice job there from Zeus.
Yeah, minion wave
Agora
gonna
a Fiora vai, tipo, pegar a wave inteira voltando. O Kong tem que ir lá puxar. Ah, o Kong vai aparecer, certo? 20 segundos pro Drake. Drake é da Bilibili agora, tá ligado?
Ben will be able to go catch.
Well, coming in, the
Muito
charm can
ruim
connect
isso,
Faker.
mano.
Not enough damage to work through that Lulu shield at this stage of the game. This Carrier not going to get caught out as he pushes out immediately by Shun, though, courtesy of the sweeper.
So they know they're making the call. Ben teleports topside, catch that wave as Dragon spawns. Top laners will be up there on their islands.
But because Owner went up there, he's not in a position
Olha lá,
to get
é um
this
Kha'Zix só, ele
Rip
faz
Trail
muito
down as
rápido.
Dragon spawns, so a bit of a missed opportunity now. T1
Não
not
chega
really
a
in a
tempo.
position to follow up. Faker looking for the reset to TP back in, so BLG will manage to get the Dragon before Owner gets in position with the Rift
Tem
Tower.
condições.
Yeah, Faker had full Everfrost there, so he wanted to get his purchase off. Now he's coming out pretty big.
Shun waiting over the wall. Still a very tanky Nautilus. The Aftershock will fade away shortly, and they're going to try to burn him down before Shun can get into the fight. Yagao walking for now on, coming in. The shield is huge. Yagao still standing. He'll be able to make it out.
O pulo
On
do
is
Shun.
there to save the day. Flash Lulu ultimate.
Elk versus Faker. Immediately going to ult. His Charmed is locked up. Back half coming through.
Ó, o Faker vai soltar, não?
Rush coming out just in time. Elk still fishing for the 1v1. Trading blows
Nossa.
back and forth as the bot lane towers. now
Faker
set to
mata, hein?
fall. Faker versus Elk will finally fade away as Faker walks off.
Not gonna look for the all-in, but
Primeira
T1
torre
will
vai
be
pro
able to
Guma
clear
ainda.
for Bot lane tower with that Rift
Cara,
charge was all the thing he
Guma
wanted.
voltou pro game
Gets all
agora,
that
tá
gold
ligado?
back into Guma Yushi. Still though, about a 900 gold lead for Elk off the back of that, but it's desperately needed so he can finish his Gale Force and get into a position where maybe he can contest some of these fights.
Yeah, Mythics should be completed for both of them. As
Não.
Elk goes back, there we go.
O Elk
We
tem uma
see
leve
shield
vantagem,
go as
mas
well. That extra big
a maior vantagem que ele tem em cima da Zaya é XP, mano. Ele tá level 9 e a Zaya tá level 7, tá ligado?
Bottom side objective taken.
A Fiora vai fechar o Ruptor Divino. Assim que ela DB, o Jax também. Aí eu não sei como é que fica essa match. Eu assumo que o Jax ganha, porque o Jax é roubado.
Fishing for Carrier here in the enemy jungle. Will use the ultimate there.
Eu também não entendi porque botaram o Nautilus pro bot.
Again, just to see if they can allow now Bin with the Sheen completed to just constantly trade against Zeus, even just pushing him back. You can see half health now on that top side for Zeus, and with that many members of BLG in the area, T1 needs back.
Going in, Shun. Get a poke onto Carrier, just trying to stop Carrier from laying down any of this vision, trying to choke them out with the power of the Umbral Glaive.
Big jungle power spikes here. Owner gets his Divine as well as that coveted very big lethality spike for Shun. And Owner's ultimate comes back up 3
Bom,
seconds
o Owner tá
Wants to try and
de...
combine off of a faker play, running down mid, teleport used for you guys.
O Owner tá de ruptor divino. Agora ele começa a machucar muito. E o Kha'Zix começou a aparecer, então uma buff.
Have so much playmaking ability on these spikes though, on their single items. With their ultimates available, that is a deadly duo.
BLG committing Yago's teleport to mid because they really want to try and contest for this Rift Herald, get mid prio, get their vision down, even Bin with the quick reset, and now the Divine Sunder coming back. Zeus has his own though, can TP into this top side, but knows that a lot of it belongs to BLG, but maybe Owner doesn't.
Drug waiting in the darkness. Ooh, heads up use of the sweeper there to spot out the Kha'Zix waiting for him. Now coming to fight, we talked about it. Mid-game playmaking, name of the game with an Ahri Wukong duo. Elk has to be careful here. Yagao gonna get the fight kicked off. Faker ready to come over the wall. And immediately
Caralho!
to take it down, and Elk wants to keep this fight going. Slow from the Ultra Shock laser will connect. That's the ulti project.
Zé destacado aí, ó.
Lucky he's able to buy the Gale Force time to make it out of that one, but Faker now locked up. Faker, the ultimate has to be used to try to take him out to safety. The charm connecting, but onto Yagao, and it is Elk on the backside, still fishing. They will walk away. Herald.
Arauto da BLG.
Oh, Carrier, he's deleted. Wait, they want
Oh!
more?
Going in. Guma has to be careful here. Elk now flashing out to safety. That's the feathers. Guma's gonna be vulnerable.
Tirou o flash do Elk. O Elk trollou, tá? O Elk trollou.
Carrier's alive and walking back from that low death timer.
Vai ser Arauto, mas eles perdem até o do mid, eu
One
acho.
more eyeball pop. All right.
Tread through it. T1, I don't think there's an angle here, really. Herald taken by BLG. T1 maybe going to try to leverage their advantage to get some damage down in mid lane.
So they have to be so careful though. Yago starting to step forward, kind of the hook, Shun in the backline as well, putting pressure, so T1
Não.
step back.
No fim não vão perder nada, mano. Caralho. Esse time da BLG é muito chato, mano.
They don't have the Zai ult, they don't have the Ahri ult, they don't have the Wukong ult. Good that they're able to
O lado bom é que a Zero não tem
Could have
nenhuma
been
kill, tá
disastrous if
ligado?
BLG had tried to engage in that moment. Luckily for them, Yagao also does not have the ult available. No re-engage opportunity for BLG.
Time and time again. Early move into the river for the vision control. We saw it when Yagao was on the Annie. Even without flash,
Caralho, mano.
positioning, they get the chunk onto the member of T1 that's coming
Que
to
dano
get
que da
vision
piora,
to
porra.
buy entry, even up to the objective. BLG do it again. They're there first. Off of that fog of war, boom. They get the hook. Carry is dead before his body even hits the floor. And they get the objective win. Rift Herald number 2 now in the hands of Shun.
Was a little bit dicey though. I mean, Elk trying to go over the wall, gets caught out, has to burn his flash, has to burn his ghost. So with that dragon now in 20 seconds, what could have been a very big win for BLG, where Elk can play very aggressive in the fight, now doesn't have as much of an opportunity. So going to be way more reliant on to make sure that he can keep him safe. Because when you look at the team fights we've seen from Elk, where he really gets to pop off, it's been beefy front lines, people who can try and support him in multiple ways, but it's just not quite the case with this. Yagao is your front line, and you do have on, but apart from that, you're kind of on your own.
Look at these wards for BLG. They push mid-wave, they slather the river with control.
Vão tacar alto no mid pra pegar a pressão pro Dragon.
Great positioning. They pop the Herald. Yagao's fishing around for hooks on the corner.
Looking for an angle in. Second Herald just gonna get the charge in the mid lane tower. Won't break it, but we'll get some good damage down.
É, tipo, a Bilibili é um time de play-in que possivelmente vai pra final, né? Eu acho que a Riot podia rever um pouco o formato do MSI. O do Mundial eu gostei, mas do MSI eu acho que
T1 though. They're trying to get control of the minion wave first.
complexo.
Shove that in. Wait, Shun actually starting up Dragon while in darkness.
Owner. They can sniff this one out, but they don't have perfect information. Elk still clearing the mid lane. T1 with an angle into the fight. Able to group his 5, but Yagao waiting in the river. Yagao, is he just going to throw down the ultimate? Buy a bit more time. 3K on the Dragon, getting lower and lower. T1, will they be able to claim their prize? Owner, can he do it one more time? Looking to move into the pit, but no, this time
Se
around.
perdesse de Kha'Zix era foda, hein, mano.
Fight breaking out as Owner looks to get things kicked off. Faker leaping into follow-up, but there's not an angle here. They're just going to back away.
Oh, Shun, nerves of steel there. He pops the invisibility, stays around for the Q smite. He gets one back.
Then parry, use, Faker fishing for the charm, but will not connect. Yagao going with the hook, gets caught out, the counter-strike now to follow. Carry
Grande
not going to
Yagão.
connect. BLG and T1 testing the waters, fishing for these angles of attack, with BLG coming out ahead.
These fights are so tense.
That hook from Yagao, if it hit, could have been devastating for T1, but Faker flashes forward, Elk just gets behind the minion in time, and now BLG are stepping forward.
TP into the mid lane, they've got the wave behind them. They want to break open this mid lane tier 1, and they'll do so effortlessly. No objective for them on the bottom side but the tier 1 tower, but they're still moving there. Owner retreating now back to the safety of his own jungle.
Wow. Sticking around there. Shun committing to that dragon while T1 tentatively pushing their way into the river and coming over. But he sticks around. He critically gets it. It keeps you on such an early timer for that arrival of the soul for BLG. So even though they have a very small gold lead over T1, the Dragon advantage is enormous. And if they keep getting in there first to set up the vision first with their Umbroglaive, with their control wards, it just makes it so risky for T1.
And we look at a potential future where BLG has an Infernal Soul. Keria can never go alone to set up vision again without a sweeper to check the brushes ahead of time. Kha'Zix will one-shot him.
O Nautilus não justificou abissal porque é um item muito barato que dá muito status que ele precisa e aumenta o dano dele mesmo, tá ligado? Tipo, ele vira um champion mais relevante.
The Fiora on the top side, we were hyped for this Jax versus Fiora matchup. It really has come down to Elk once more. Bin, though, will manage to dodge away. But when it comes to the positioning that Elk has had in the fights, the ability for him to just get
a missão nova tá boa? Tá mais roubada do que a antiga. Caralho, mano.
Looking to leverage that once more as he starts to move in towards mid, but Bin in trouble.
E o Bin errou o quê?
Backing away. Faker knows that he's not on vision, but Bin's still giving the respect anyway. We'll just back off here as you see Zaya step forward on the top side. Yagao gonna take some time if he wants to kill that tower. Take a bit of time, but just gonna get the TP out from Faker.
Nossa, o Faker não deu B, mano.
From BLG there, as their team is trying to commit resources to top side, he knows the only possibility for the T1 play to blow it open would be.
Eu vi que o Mundial vai ser no formato suíço, graças a Deus.
And hence allows BLG control was behind Baron now, once again. Setting up through the river.
Again, what a slower pace of game from BLG. It's been insane to see a team that was all about fist fighting. I mean,
BLG vai ganhar o MSI?
champion kills per minute.
Cara, pra ganhar da JDG.
Skyrocket. But that's not what we're getting here. A much slower pace.
Pra ganhar da JDG, tu tem que ser o time.
Position to take clever fights, set Elk up, have Yagao as that front line, and they're not overstepping anywhere near as much as you would have seen from them domestically.
And game 1 was kind of the game we expected. Absolute bloodbath. Game 3 very T1 favored. Games 2 and game 4 have been slow and controlled from both sides. Neither side looking to overstep or risk anything. BLG pushing in, clearing out vision. Keria waiting in the darkness. Has to be careful here. Infernal Rift making it that much easier for BLG to walk into enemy territory. Hook gonna land.
Caralho.
Backing away. Baron has to be on the mind of both sides as we're 21 minutes into the game, but it's a minute and a half till the objective. They're just trying to take some summoners off of Zeus, but to no effect.
That's a pretty big chunk with the health bar, and considering Zeus gave up 30 seconds by leaving minion wave bottom side, now you'll see
ele vai ter que ter pra bot? Não, o Bin vai levar a torre antes, né? Acho que ele leva a torre antes.
Guess what? Tower goes poof.
Shred through that one. Again, more gold.
Piora! XD!
T1 a minute until Infernal Dragon. Soul point for the side of BLG. T1.
Cara, a diferença, Thales, é que a Bilibili nunca tinha jogado contra aqueles times. Contra a JDG, eles jogaram 3 vezes e perderam as 3. 3 séries, melhor dizendo.
They haven't gone wrong yet. And now we'll have to see if the Bin script is for real. It feels like this Dragon is going to make or break this game. If T1 can secure it, if T1 can find that space, that breathing room to get their carries into a position, they will be in a good spot. But for BLG now, setting up in the mid lane, no control over bot side for Bin, makes it easier for Zeus to join these fights. So BLG are forcing mid onto Guma.
Fernango onto Guma, looking for the knock-up. The feathers fly. Yagao not going to walk away. Happy to have the cooldown, but immediately push re-engages, and that is the power of the Kha'Zix. Guma now isolated, running, and it should just be the objective to the side of BLG. They have secured themselves the soul. T1, will they be willing to fight a man down?
Guma doesn't burn the flash. He doesn't want to get away from it. So BLG now in a position. T1.
Caralho, mano, gasta flash, mano. Porra, Mayushi. Olha tu jogando LOL, mano. Pelo amor de Deus, mano.
Owner needs to find a way into the pit, but he's going to run away. It's Infernal Soul.
Ah, mano, toma vergonha na cara, mano. Pelo amor de Deus, vocês deram alma infernal, você só é até 1, mano. Pô. Alma do fogo pra Zeri, Kha'Zix e Fiora.
He calls his shot ahead of time. Top lane flashes the emote. Shun slowing Guma in mid lane is all they need to get in range. And Guma still won't have his ultimate. Okay, they're just going to clear it out.
See where Zeus and Faker were. They wanted to try and push in onto the tier 2, but if they showed on that, BLG immediately could have started the Baron. So T1 forced the reset. BLG don't realize how much space they had there to actually try and make something happen.
Zeus
is going to stick around though and look for the tier 2.
And regardless, Bin is going to sneak away another turret here. Goes up top side, finishes that one off. More solo tower gold for the Fiora. Ravenous coming in.
more sustain, more pressure, you're able to just instantly clear a lot of those waves for the Fiora. Bin only getting stronger on the side lane.
Fiora
Been a big
XD.
power point thus far, even if we haven't really seen it come to fruition in some of the fights. And BLG,
É,
with
Zé tá
an
muito bem
Infernal Soul
farmado.
backing them up, are just so favored in the 5v5.
And it's such a good power spike for your side lane. Once your Fiora gets the Ravenous, those minion waves do not stall you at all. He can
Agora a Fiora ganha do
annihilate
Jax, certo?
them.
Porque ela
So
tem
BLG,
sustain e o Jax não.
all of the upper hand right now.
Então, troca
With the
curta é
soul,
melhor
with
pra
the vision
Fiora.
over the objective first,
E a win também,
and
porque ela tem
the
vantagem de
priority
item.
for the
Ela
side
só ganha do
lane.
Jax.
Quickly shove.
Yeah, you see it here. Ults from Yagao is dodged by Gumayushi, but at this stage, not in the best of spots. Doesn't manage to flash away. Yagao manages to get the hook, and with that, BLG secure themselves a soul.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at the camera angle. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Actually,
E alma, é. E alma. Pode crer, e alma.
it was really well played from the BLG members, though. You know, Shun hits the slow, and then they both move to the side to avoid the ultimate feathers coming down. Yagao knows, easy trade here. My ult for your ult, and I hit you with the hook.
And see now what T1 can do. Really hard for them to control vision again. Umbral Glaive is down, but now the sweeper is up. It is absolute control of the vision on the top side for BLG, and Shun now just leaping in. Massive damage, just taking a chunk out of Zeus.
Nossa, mano.
Disgusting damage from
Muito
this
dano.
Kha'Zix here. And nothing that Zeus can do.
Kha'Zix na frente é
Taking it
divertido,
back
né,
off.
mano?
Now he's going to try.
Rinse and repeat, Counter-Strike up again, but that's just more and more of his health taken away. Two members on the top side, T1 see their opportunity to
Opa,
engage
opa,
in the mid lane.
opa,
They find
opa.
Elk, and that
É
could
até
be
um.
everything to bring them back
Respeita
against
até
the
um.
Infernal Soul. They still find the fight, but Bin is now here. Bin looking to pop off. He's going to take out Guma. BLG keeping this one going.
Okay.
The Infernal Soul Faker now running the blast cone, taking him out to safety. The TP coming out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. The auto, the staggering blows, and BLG still take the fight.
How could you forget about Bin? Bin TP'ing in on the Fiora, gets onto Gumayushi. BLG
Mano,
turn
o Owner vai
towards
roubar.
Baron. Owner over the side though.
O Owner vai
Do you
roubar.
have one more left in you? All of T1 praying to Owner right now. No flash, but he's got a smite.
5K. Copperbox waiting. holding
Roubar
his
de
breath.
Kha'Zix é osso, tá?
BLG looking
Mas
for
tem
an angle to
como.
deny the jungler into the pit, but a lot of members out now might even give him a better avenue. The stun now coming in. They're looking to keep the fight going. They're looking to take Bin out. Shun waiting over the wall. The Baron
Cara,
doesn't
olha a
stop.
cura do
Can't
Bin.
take the fight. Zeus now
Isso,
going in on the
Zeus.
Shun, leaping back right over the wall. The shutdown is huge on the Bin.
Eles não
And
fazem esse
BLG
barulho,
might
não.
have just thrown everything away. Absolute patience in the face of disaster. The flip of a coin could just decide it all. And it comes up heads for BLG. From out of nowhere, the defining moment. Make sure the play sticks.
The
Ai,
raging ball
mano.
from out of the trees comes over the wall.
Faltou isso
T1 were trying to
aqui,
chase
mano, isso
down
aqui,
BLG.
mano.
Really punished them for taking that Baron, but just about Elk is able to get into the position to take them down.
I'm pretty sure Owner used his W in the fight, so he didn't have W to get over for the smite fight at the end. And that's why BLG made
O
the
engage
call
foi muito bom em
to
cima
finish.
do Elk, mano.
Even after losing members over the side of the wall. Here is the origins, though. You talked about it, Dagda, the teleport in from the top laner. Bin comes in, they find Faker, you're teleporting in the alcove, Yagao don't care, hits him with the auto, you're down. And this is where it gets crazy. T1, 3 members over the side. They're just trying to buy time. And only 2 members of BLG over here. Zeus flashed into the pit with his Counter-Strike on to force them out. And then, yeah, with this smite fight, he's stuck on the outside.
Cara, o Shun
The
foi,
cooldown's
tá ligado?
still
Ele
too
foi pra
long.
fight, mano.
Shun and On made the call.
Ah,
They saw
o
him
Owner
use
não
his W
conseguia
in the
entrar,
skirmish behind the
mano.
Baron. They know he can't get in the pit.
Ih, coçou a cabeça, acabou.
Smite tracking. They had confidence. They burned the Baron down, even though they're low health.
Baron buff backing them up. Owner looking for a flank.
Acabou, acabou, acabou.
The windows of opportunity smaller and smaller for T1 as BLG continue to build a massive lead. Elk this time protected by the team, ready to usher this wave forward, picking up extra kills in the back of that fight. Owner spotted, crucial, but Bin on the bottom side, a massive point of pressure that demands an answer from the side of T1, but Shun is there to back him up. Ready to shadow him, ready to go all in if they need to find these picks.
Acho que a tapa
T1
levando.
it is now do or die. A single mistake with a Baron buffed up enemy team will cost you the game, will cost you the series, the tournament. They have not missed a final with this lineup, but this very well could be their first.
And BLG want to make it, Bin the last defending MSI champion, wanting to make sure he
Cara,
gets
é
back to the
impossível,
finals,
né?
pushing into the
Até
bot
virar esse
side,
jogo.
spreading T1 thin. Elk taking a couple of pop shots at the turrets, but right now, not quite able to get in. T1 have decent wave control. They should be able to clear these out. BLG, I don't think they can quite crack the base here. They
Tipo,
need
nem
just
se
a little
a
bit more.
nem se a Bilibili trollar, não.
Might
O
have the range or the safety.
cara tá muito
The lead is
forte.
big, but not enough to just start
Série
diving
tá muito
towers.
forte, Kha'Zix
Been trying to act as
gigantesco.
that pressure point, but he doesn't have the Baron buff. Crucially, was taken out in the fight, so he can't just solo push those towers. Faker now immediately pushing for the engager, and Elk again! They find him, he goes golden. It's a brief moment that he buys for himself and his team's hope, but the feathers come back, and Faker will find Elk. Yagao in the midst of the waiting arms of T1, they will gladly grab another kill. This is their chance, this is their opportunity. They need to tear through BLG.
Faker saw the angle. He takes the chance. They get the kill.
Look at the beat. They're trying to move in.
Elder,
Fiora's still
Elder,
trying to
Elder.
Split it. Every decision is life or death now at this stage of the game. If they can burn through Elder, they've got a combat buff that will last them into the next fight, but it's Shun in the jungle. Can he be the one to steal it away? Owner has taken so many for him, just threatening, buying time for Bin. But Bin has a match from Zeus. He can't just simply end the game. He'll at least grab an inhibitor. Elder could be everything. Shun uncontested for now. Ready to go in. It's getting lower and lower. He's going to leap into the pit, but this time, Owner
Meu
comes
Deus,
out
eles
on
pegaram o
top.
barquinho,
With all
mano.
of Korea watching, Owner hits that
Meu
smite.
Deus,
They get the
mano.
Elder Dragon. The hope for T1 alive.
The base was cracked by Bin, but T1 come out with such a huge buff. 2 minutes now. We have to see how much they can try and get done. There's so much standing gold on the map. Bounties as well for T1, and it starts with this flash.
Faker sees the angle, flashes in onto Elk. They get the stopwatch. They immediately kill him. As soon as he comes out, everyone collapsing. You see Shun was clearing wards in the jungle, trying to rotate over. It's just too late. I believe, actually, when we get back to live, we have a pause. No!
Chrono break, chrono break, chrono
All
break.
right, we'll keep you updated as we have more information on the pod.
Chrono break, chrono break.
Take a breath. Remember that you have the whole seat, not just the edge of your seat.
Cara, isso
Well,
foi
we have a
sinistro.
litany of replays to go over. We just
Isso
look
foi
at any
sinistro.
of the 10,000 smite fights that we've seen in this series.
Olha lá,
throughout this
mouse do
tournament.
Guma,
There's so
Logitech
much
G Pro
exciting
Super
play
Light.
between
Aprendam.
these teams, and they're still delivering here. Man, the call there. You know what? Fine. Let Kha'Zix ult in. See if we can get it.
Oh,
It's definitely a spilled
based on the
drink.
context, I think in the heat
Ah,
of the moment, an arm might have flown
ele-
left when it was supposed to go right. A drink was knocked over. You reset.
É,
Almost a
Guma.
nice bit of comedic relief in one of the most tense games and one of the most tense series. Just take a breath.
Derramou café na
Still on
mesa,
stage,
né?
Still a person, still having a good time, still just playing.
This is, I mean, as you say, this is on the edge of the seat.
Oi.
This can go either direction. The fact that you have
Nada a ver.
Faker flashing forward to get that charm onto Elk, Elk just not having that opportunity to respond. And it all comes down to
Caralho, ô
those
Bin.
little moments. Now with T1,
Moleque, eu
with
tô
this
falando,
Elder
o
Dragon,
Bin,
we
mano.
have to see
O Bin
just
parece
how
um
much they can
golem,
get
mano.
done.
Caralho, ele não sorri. Ele é um golem, mano. Ele não tem emoção, tá ligado? Olha lá. Olha lá. Calma aí, Bin. Vamos com calma, Bin. Porra, mano. Que
Oh, those
isso, mano.
moments that you flashed in the world.
The part where he knocks over his drink.
That's fair. Okay, here we are. Elder buff, still there for T1. A window where they've got more power than the Infernal Drake on the opposite side. Let's see what they can do with it.
Oh my. Okay. Elder Dragon. So much
Caralho,
possibility
verdade,
with
né?
this.
Elder na
Because you
P1.
can force so much here by T1. Actually, topside's really heavily pushing against them, and they had Zeus on bottom side, so kind of hard to go overreach and get that objective bounty that you need to get right back into
Bom,
this
a
game.
próxima fight até ganha, porque não dá pra perder de
I think a
Elder,
lot of
né?
this is going to be a case of like trying to get this mid tower, now moving Zeus top to get that top outer turret, just get that gold that's easily available and try and close the distance here.
O que tem que tomar cuidado
that
aqui,
thing, doesn't last forever. Let's see if they can get some objective bounties out of it, though.
esse até eu não consigo fazer nada com esse Elder. O jogo ainda é mais pra BLG, não?
Gonna have to do one more minion wave topside. Blast cone taken before On got there.
Ah, inclusive,
Is Shun right now.
estavam falando do
He
Faker
could've-
aí no
if he
chat,
waited
a
for
play
On
que
to
durou o
come
jogo foi
with him
dele,
on the
tá?
blast cone,
Isolating the Kha'Zix, Zeus not going to follow, forcing Shun away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, T1 getting aggressive, taking the objective bounty, getting the gold that much closer to even. 1.5k at this stage of the game is not meaningful.
Look at the Fiora in the bot lane though. Essentially BLG are like, look, you can take mid, you can take top outer, but if you try to threaten for any more, you're not going to be in a good spot. Faker now has to reset to make sure he can deal with the super creeps that are going to be coming into that lane. So T1
Em algum
will
ponto,
get a
o
little
Jax
bit,
ganha da
but they're not
Fiora
gonna
ou
get
não?
much more than this.
and I think that's the goal. That was the margin right there. You want to try and get your 2 objective bounty shutdowns with that Elder Dragon. like you said, don't overreach.
Ganha.
Don't give up any more picks. They also funnel the solo gold into Zeus. Owner
Ganha
just
com
hovers
item
around
igual.
for support
Tá.
if anyone tries to pick him. Gives him that vision, gives him that confidence to get it.
And again, we're in a situation where a single team fight is very likely to decide the game. Of course, you can see a lot of the luxury items, I think as you call them, Kobe, the stopwatches coming out, the GAs as well. Potentially one final fight to decide it. The Baron 1 second away, BLG with control with mid lane priority.
Acabou o Elder.
They can away from the side of T1 already. The fight getting kicked off. Keria is there to body block, but will cost him his life. One-man advantage to the side of BLG.
É o Iagão, né?
Yagao can do it too. He strikes on the Nautilus. No ult for the Nautilus, but T1, they're going to get desperate now. Owner on a control ward.
O Guma
They
tem...
can't defend this if they just give it. You send Fiora to the bot side, she can get that lane in, but they're not going to commit to Zeus. BLG off that pick, they're going to get the
Caralho,
Baron.
guys.
And just once more, BLG getting control of this game.
Now what can they do with this buff? Can they close it out? Can T1 find
Pior
another
que o Warner não tá
angle?
jogando mal, né?
Another way to shut
2-0-5,
down
Faker
Elk, take them
2-1-4.
out of the fight. This time around there's a GA,
A bot
so they'll
lane
have
que
to
tá
do it
osso,
twice.
né?
Bin that top side pressure point. Zeus doing everything he can on the bottom side to make sure that wave is pushed out.
O buff do dragão esse não dura quantos minutos? Dura alguns minutos.
Bin alone for now on the top side. Can't afford to overstep too much. Should just take this tier 2 and back away. 600 gold in his back pocket.
This is exactly what Bin needs to do, just create this pressure in the side lane. Elk now stepping up once more. We saw Faker make the hero play, has that flash once more. Keria has flash on the side as well, sitting on that pink board. Elk needs to be so careful, doesn't have the rest
Isso, o
of
Elk
his team
gastou
yet.
Ghost?
He's trying to
Ah,
keep
na
the
fight,
pressure
né?
Trying
up.
to get any cooldowns they can out of Elk, and Mikhail's available on as well, as you highlighted. Need to layer their CC perfectly if they just want to take the Zeri out.
Kha'Zix supou o E.
Both these
Então ele acha que ele vai pegar bastante reset.
Making flash pick plays for their teams. And now with the power of the Baron, they should be able.
Shirelli is kicking the fight off. The stun immediately going to go in. Elk just free firing, and again, he's just doing so much damage. Owner taking out before he can even ult. Bin now on the way in, but they pull back for now. It's just a tower.
Cara, a Bilibili tá tendo que gastar tudo no Nautilus, tá ligado? Da Lulu. O inimigo do bot voltou. Olha o wave do bot lá. Não tem Super Minion, saindo da base, ó. Aqui, ó. O inimigo do bot vai voltar. Próximo wave, o inimigo volta. Eles vão botar a Fiora bot e vão ficar no top? Não, a Fiora vai top e eles vão bot. Tá? Porque a Fiora tem TP e o Elder é o próximo objetivo. É isso aí. Olha lá. Saiu a wave, voltou o inimigo.
And now the opportunity to push in mid, lean towards that bot inhibitor, and with 2 inhibitors down, it feels like T1, their backs are definitely against the wall. Elimination game for T1, and time feels like it's ticking away.
Certainly is, and even if you could find an angle in this game, there's still one more ahead of you. 1 minute at a time for T1, just trying to hold on to hope. Any angle, any opportunity. Flash up for Faker. Again, the charms have been clutch in the last few exchanges. But our BLG simply too far ahead. Will one pick be enough? With the GA, with the stopwatches available on the opposite side.
In on the top tower as this bot wave crashes. They've timed this beautifully.
Caralho, machuca muito essa alma, mano.
Huge chunk coming in for the Ultra Shock laser. BLG breaking the inhibitor.
Tá, 2 inibis pra Bilibili, eles vão só deixar a Fiora no top agora, talvez. Ou a Fiora vai juntar. Caralho, machuca muito, mano. Que isso?
They're just going to back away though. Elder Dragon is up. Vision has been set up. T1 have to try and come into this blind. Fiora in the bot side for Bin, pushing in that wave, making sure someone has to deal with that as T1. Elk on the forefront. Yagao hiding here. Who does he manage to get the hook on?
A Fiora tepou no bot.
They have to send it. Both sides know what's in front of them. Steal or have the game stolen from you.
Cara, se o Owner roubar isso aqui, é sério pra ter um, tá?
Slowly but surely burning through this one. T1 fishing, looking for an angle.
But they're going for the wave. They're not going to go for the Elder. They're going to keep it. No, they can just run into that bot side if they want to at times. T1 have to be so careful how they position here.
Well highlighted, Dagda. They don't have the information they need to make an educated decision. They don't have the vision. All that they know is that the dragon has been aggro.
A Bilibili só tá enrolando, mano.
BLG is hitting it. With just a piece of information, they have to go for it. They have to find the gamble. They have to find the angle, the engage. Final moments for T1.
Caralho, a Bilibili só vai ficar brincando com eles e foda-se.
Here we go. Zeus has arrived.
Shun taking a decent chunk. Puma on the front line, immediately going to get ulted. It's going to force out the feathers.
Puma perdeu ult.
Down. Redemption on the backside to keep him healthy. Bid between Zeus and
Ari sem ult. Opa.
Slow, controlled. Infernal Slow Poke starting to come in. Kazac's not going to find purchase.
Wave do bot entrando. Engage. Masquei. Ai, matou a Zaya. GG. GG. Ai, que tristeza. Final da LPL. Final da LPL, que tristeza. Ai, que tristeza.
BLG take care of both LCK seeds.
It was supposed to be EDG, it was supposed to be Genji,
Coitadinho do Faker. Coitadinho do Faker. Coitado.
BLG stands strong in defiance of all expectations. They move to the final.
The first time at an international event we will see an all LPL
Ó o Bin.
finals.
O Bin é um... Moleque, o Bin é um golem. O Bin é um golem, mano. Tô falando.
Ecstatic about that for BLG.
Caralho, mano.
The Chave celebrations.
É que eu vou até fazer
have
um
been
tweet
top
aqui, ó.
notch.
Bin.
Been calling his shots in his interview, even tweeted out
Catch.
3-1. They will also take care of
Esse aqui?
T1. And then, on top of that, if they do the 3-1, he said
Esse
they
aqui.
will 3-2 JDG.
Bin. Esse é o Bin. Esse é o Bin, mano. O Bin é o maior Chad do evento, mano. É simplesmente o melhor do mundo, mano.
I think we cannot say it enough. The defiance of expectations. That one T1 lineup, the first time they will not make it to a finals, crushing overall. But BLG again, the team that nobody expected, the team that seemingly came out of nowhere.
Porque geral tá torcendo pra Bilibili? Porque ninguém tinha expectativa na Bilibili, mano. E eles ganham de todo mundo, mano. Menos da JDG. Eles perderam. Ah, aqui pra você também, ó, aqui.
Where was the LPL getting knocked out in the semi-finals, not advancing to finals, and we got that all
O Otávio não ganhou o CBLOL, porque os jogadores falaram que ele era muito rígido, né, pra gente.
And for the LCK, it's heartbreaking to see a team that was so dominant in the regular split just not quite able to get
o Sky. O Sky.
Amazing, amazing story for BLG.
Pô, Sky, relaxa, Sky, vai ficar tudo bem, mano. Se sinta abraçado aqui, ó, se sinta abraçado. Valeu, valeu, Sky.
Single-handedly eliminating how many teams? Both LCK seeds. A force to be reckoned with, and no matter how much we talk about their weaknesses, they always seem to find a way.
That's the thing, I don't know who this team is. Like, you look at Ben, he's like, oh, he's always aggressive, he's super corporate, dominating in his performances here. You look at the Jomong madness.
É a porra do Bin, é a porra do Bin, mano.
And for BLG being able to leverage these.
Tu é fraco, Zeus. Tu é fraco, Zeus. Tô zoando Riot, eles não falam mal de player aqui.
Outstanding. But now one more hurdle lies in their way. But as we talk about that, T1 will take to the stage.
One final goodbye. London, Copperbox, give it up for T1 one more time. A valiant effort.
Caralho, a T1 tá afetada, tá? A T1 tá afetada. A T1 tá afetada, mano.
But again, just further showing us that BLG is a force to be reckoned with. It's so rare that we see an organization as unheard of on the international stage as BLG do something so great.
Caralho, a cara do Keria, mano. O Keria quer muito chorar, mano. Coitado, mano.
Credit to their tenacity and the journey they've been on. They've played so many games to get to where they are now.
And then making other teams pick carries on topside into bin, making them play their game.
Yeah.
Elk stepping up massive.
Ooh, and I like that name Elk because that is your 1+ player.
Elk, é isso. É isso, Elk, Elk, Deus da série. Deus da série. Olha lá. Elk. Porra, pelo amor de Deus, cara, bom demais. Isso que era fraude. Imagina se não fosse fraude, né? Imagina se não fosse.
People doubting he could ever step up to be a true carry for a team, and now to see him taking the team into an MSI finals after being denied when he was back in WWE in 2021, getting to his first international. You're getting to see the power of Elk at this MSI.
And usually players who have weaknesses like that, they kind of fade away. you know, they lose some of that aggression. This man still gale forces forward more than 50% of the time. This is a guy who's played true to his style, but found ways to clean it up and just continues to get better and better on the international stage.
Beautiful stuff from him. Team fighting, squeezing out extra little bits of damage all game long. Even not in the team fights that are highlighted so often, even in some of the standoffs towards mid, chunking people out.
É o seguinte, galera. Amanhã estaremos online. Lembrando, a final começa 8 da manhã, tá? 8 da manhã, a final começa. Umas 7h30 estaremos online, beleza? Para assistir. Fechou?